I just realized I wasn't recording. So I've explained to the stream. The recording will get to know the weird setup that this is using, and I want to stress test it and see how well it works.
Oh, yeah. Pale blood. Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
And in addition to the other stuff, I didn't like that my sub alerts and stuff didn't work when I was streaming from console. Whereas,
how could you be so naive?
This, because I'm streaming from my regular streaming setup, I guess because you're Dookie, we can just play as Dookie. And Dookie is old. Dookie has a small head. How big will it let me make my body before it makes me make my head bigger? Apparently it'll just let me do it. Although really I can't tell that much of it. If I recall correctly, it's easier to see this in reverse. Oh yeah. Now we're doing something. Where is... There we go. I like this. That adds something. Like, this is like, my instinct is to do this. And of course, this is classic. This adds something, though. Man, his eyes are so deeply set. Okay, I think this is a... We're making a good guy. He has beautiful green eyes. Oh, hell yeah. Can I make steampunk? Yeah, there we go. This is Dookie. We're making Dookie right now. The berries and cream hair is always a temptation. I wouldn't hate a small plate. Like this, the ponytails are too long. This is sort of the closest, but even this... Let's go Benjamin Franklin. There we go. Oh, God damn it. Here we go. This hairstyle, while having facial hair, is a little incongruous. Facial hair was not in fashion at the time. There we go. No lashes. We're definitely going to save our guy to our favorites. Okay. Origin. Milk toast. Lone survivor. Waste of skin is an idea. I think we're going with Cruel Fate, though. Because I want to try... I want to get the Ligarius wheel. Okay.
Uncle Phil, you got to kick that man's butt!
Ah, hello, Medibot. Thanks for the sub. So, to go over again the weird setup that I'm streaming from, because the recording doesn't have it. When I tried streaming Bloodborne before, I was streaming it from my TV, which was kind of cramped and not comfortable,
Signed and sealed.
and my sub alerts didn't come through.
Let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry.
But now,
Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
I'm playing on the PS4 plugged into my monitor, while another PlayStation account is in PS Remote Play watching the broadcasted PS Remote Play as player 2. And that's what I'm streaming and recording. So the stream is getting a second generation copy of the stream, which isn't super ideal, and now I'm noticing that there's a bit of the crop that's incorrect, because I can see a little bit of Drackburger peeking up off the top of the top right of the frame. I am using a Nightmare Cloud Gaming solution, but the Nightmare Cloud Gaming solution, that seems pretty loud. Has bad input latency, and the version you have on that doesn't come with the Old Hunters DLC. They used a sound effect from Demon Souls there.
Ah, you found yourself a hunter.
Okay. So I have my sub alerts. I'm in my comfortable streaming setup. I have low input latency for me. And now I can fix the crop. How is that? That's still wrong. One more ought to do it. I'm doing stuff at weird resolutions, so there's not a really easy way to like math out what it should be. I'm still getting some. Actually, is that just... Nope, that's not Drackburger. I mean, that's Drackburger, all right. That's just adding stuff at the top, at the bottom, not at the top like I want. Maybe I want to match it at the top instead. No, I'm still getting Drackburger. Man, what the hell? But now there's a thin black bar at the bottom. quite. Okay, that should be. Oh, there's still that thin black bar at the bottom. It's barely noticeable, but I can notice it. Okay, this is going to have to do for now. Well, that was exciting. Where are Yusefka's clinic? Wow. No dropped frames yet. How is the audio, by the way? Can I get a sound off on how stuff looks and sounds? Sounds good. Thank you. We're gonna leave this guy alive because we might need him later. I'm invincible. Okay. There's that beautiful cleric beast. Let's talk to this guy.
Oh, you must be a hunter. And not one from around here either. I'm Gilbert, a fellow outsider.
He's Irish. You plague-ridden rat! That guy followed me up the ladder. I didn't know he could do that. Last time as well, my right trigger button was finicky. We'll have to see how that holds up. Actually, I probably shouldn't be recording this at 60 frames per second 2K. Because this game is 30 frames per second and not 2K. Alright, give me the goods. I want the hunter's axe. And the hunter's pistol. There we go. It's our favorite guy.
Aha. You must be the new hunter. Welcome to the hunter's dream. This will be your home for now. I am Gehrman, friend to you hunters. You're sure to be in a fine haze about now, but don't think too hard about all of this. Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. You know, it's just what hunters do. You'll get used to it.
I like how he sounds pained to say Gehrman.
This was once a safe haven for hunters. A workshop where hunters used blood to enhance their weapons and flesh. We don't have as many tools as we once did, but you're welcome to use whatever you find. Even the dog, should it please you.
What a creep.
This was once a... You'll eat.
I don't think I have anything here yet. Oh, the inside shop isn't even, up. Nothing at the stump messenger yet. You know what, sure. I could go to, look at the false Yusefka. Or no, at the moment it would be the correct Yusefka. It'd be true Yusefka, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, look at these PS4 load times, baby. Okay. Back at it again in Yarnum. I see you. I think I left is where I want to go, but this is where I'm gonna go. I can go down here too. Man, the trick weapons are so cool. Get over here. Yep, I'll pound one. I tried to two-hand my weapon, and in doing so, ate a potion. I feel like that's going to happen a lot. Probably not up to fighting Burly Boy yet. Hell yeah. You said the line, everybody. Give me some Molly. Get another potion. Are you dead? He's dead. Potions being in the game is kind of a downer, huh? Okay, Burly Boy. Okay. You ain't all that bad. Pretty sure he's guarding nothing, but... I've got to go look at the biggest mystery in Bloodborne. This game has a ton of mysteries. but I want someone to explain to me what this is. There's just a really big hat lying on the ground. What is up with this hat? I'm pretty sure there's no other hats in the game like this. Post your hat theories in the chat. You think it was Big Hat Logan's hat? It's not quite that big. Are you gonna scream? Well, you don't have a lantern, so there's nobody here. Man, look at that horse. Oh, and to make sure that you think that the setup for streaming this is even weirder, even though I'm playing the game on the console, my headphone, I didn't want to do the double headphone method, and my microphone and headset cables were not long enough to plug the output audio into the controller and listen to the game that way, and have my microphone connected to my PC. So I actually am listening to the PS Remote Play audio right now, which there has to be an audio delay, but I'm not good enough to hear it. If I have to rely on audio cues to do a repost, maybe that'll become relevant.
Lads, you've come on. You'd open the door on a night of the hunt. Away with you. Now.
Audio coming out of the controller. Well, there is a... I mean, and I don't know if I don't think they have speakers, but they have an audio jack port, and that's how I did it when I was streaming from the consoles. I just had my headset plugged into my controller and was using that for audio.
Are you that outsider? Well, sorry, but I don't want anything to do with you. Trot along, will ya?
Yeah. I don't think they're like Wii controllers, where they have a very bad speaker. Do they? I'm not an expert at PS4. This is the only PS4 game I own. And I kind of came into owning a PS4 via happenstance. Has more collective effort been put into streaming game than Bloodborne? Hard to say. Wayne Radio TV and his friends assembled a digital gigaquad in order to play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. But that's more individual effort than collective effort. And as far as I know, they only streamed it once or twice and haven't ever gotten back around to it. But that was like a gigaquad that was also partially emulated. I'll knock out your brains. There was an audio lag there. And that's on the other side. I want to go over there because Jamiroquai will shoot me. What are these just like wells going around? Bloodborne lore experts. Why are there just well pumps in places? There's a torch man. He's up. Doggy. Man, Rally lets you play really bad and still be completely unpunished. Give me your Quicksilver bullets. This town is finished. I've also been hearing about brains and the pestilence afflicted to certain rats.
I don't reckon you're from round here. Well, stuck outside on a night of the hunt. Oh, you poor, poor thing.
Let's go fight the burly boy. We got a bloodstone shard. Wow. There are dogs that are going to come assail me. Burly boy! You've got a brick that I want. Burly boys almost always drop potions. I wonder where they came up with that sound being the sound birds make. Because they do that in Dark Souls 3 as well. Yeah, I just kind of guessed at the audio balancing, so the game might be horribly loud, but it looks good in the mixer. Actually, I wonder. I could make my streaming setup even more convoluted. Will this work? Oh man, the resolution looks like it's constantly changing. That's not good. I'm trying to stream it to Discord while streaming to thing. I would probably have to do the obs trick. Yeah, I have to use the obs trick. Okay. So if anybody wants to come hang out while I play Bloodborne, you can. Although that kind of... that may or may not be giving me video chuggies. I'm not sure. Nice moves. That whiff was really costly. Nice shot, dude. There are doggies, but you should not fight them. They are too strong. Somewhere around here there's a madman's in sight. Which gives access to the doll. This all leads to sewer stuff. Which, while having the saw spear, it's not my goal at the moment. I want to get back to where the cleric beast is, which I think is the bridge. Oh boy, am I going to have to fight a doggy? If I'm doing that... There we go. Stuff From's working on. I'm not very interested in the new Elden Ring thing. I will probably buy and play it. But it's not exactly something that lights my fire. I hope they get to make something new. From is no stranger to one for me, one for you style of game development. So if Elden Ring Night Dive or whatever is one of their one for yous, I hope they get to make a one for me. Yeah, there's also that Switch game that people know nothing about and probably won't for some time. It reminds me of when the teaser for Sekiro came out. Everybody thought there was going to be a new Tenchi game. Even though From did not develop those. I don't remember where that madman's inside is at. Oi! Burly boy. Surprised it took that many shots. You fight those guys a lot because they're just the easiest way to get blood vials early on. Device is not currently operable. The insight might be in the sewer. I remember the insight being on a street somewhere. But I will be going down into the sewers eventually. Yeah. Does this get me back up to the bridge? Nobody gets me this. Cold Blood do. But I think Bloodborne qualifies as a Grummy's Grudge Match game. Because this is a game I own that I really need to play, that I just haven't. And I hope my new streaming setup for it makes it comfortable enough for me to play it without reservation. My previous streaming setup was not comfy. What is my Bloodborne history? When it was free on PS Remote Play the first time, I played some of it, but was unsatisfied with the visual fidelity. The game is 10 years old. I know a lot about this game. I didn't own it until last year, I think. This kind of incidentally came into ownership of a PlayStation 4. But I've never beaten it.
You're a hunter, aren't you? Well,
I don't know of any safe places. Yeah, I didn't steal it. It didn't fall off a truck. I got one for cheap from somebody who was getting rid of it. But it wasn't something I sought out. I was kind of waiting until it was emulatable, which I guess it is, but I doubt the emulation is perfect. And my PS4 is the wrong firmware to jailbreak. So I can't dump my own copy. So I guess for that I would have to have a copy that fell off a truck. Hello, Eileen. Are you interested in an old man?
Oh. A hunter, are you? And an outsider? What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights. Here, to welcome the new hunter. Prepare yourself for the worst. There are no humans left. They're all flesh-hungry beasts now. Still lingering about. What's wrong? A hunter unnerved by a few beasts. No matter. Without fear in our hearts, we're little different from the beasts themselves. What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt.
Hey, she said it, everybody. A hunter must hunt. Okay. I knocked down the thingbobbers. So now I suppose I should go down there. However, there are sawmen. And they suck. Okay. Think there's another sawman about? Yeah, there he is. The Molotov cocktails are not going to be useful later. So I should make use of them while they're useful. Yeah, rallying back your fall damage is very good. The rally mechanic is it's so spiritually what this game is. Okay, buddy.
Uncle Phil, you got to kick that man's butt!
Thank you for the sub, Master Saw. I wonder, can I get the backstab on this guy? I can. It's funny that they nerfed backstabs. Where to get a backstab, you have to do a charged R2 behind them, then destroy them. It's also weird that skill is the best stat for doing backstabs, because your riposte damage only scales off your skill. It does not scale off your strength or anything else. But because it does so much damage, you don't really notice. I believe that's how it works. We will scare you with our insane rats. Well, I got one of the items. I gotta be careful, because somewhere there's a pig. Oh yeah, there's a madman's knowledge. Backstabbing, nerfing backstabbing in this game made sense. I think it would be fine as a thing to do to other players. Requiring it for other players, but for enemies in the other games, I think what they do makes sense. Like backstabbing as is makes sense. Yeah, I thought that was coming. Get over here. Nothing. Yeah, you can parry the heal animation. Hello, Kaz. Don't get ratted out. Okay. Yeah, the whiff chance for backstabs. Can't that happen in Dark Souls 2 as well? No, in Dark Souls 2 they have it where you're still vulnerable during backstabs. And door opening animations. Come here, Jamiroquai. Fuck. Oh yeah, with the you have like your backstab is basically a grab in Dark Souls 2. And then if the grab fails, then you just do no damage. If Kaz or Ogre wants to see if the stream share and Discord is working, I invite you to come. Although I admit that it's probably pretty late for Ogre, and I don't know if Kaz is doing other stuff. I mostly just want to stress test this setup. Hey. No bueno. Yeah, I thought it would be too late. Okie dokie.
Hey.
Look, as okay, I can try. I have the OBS window doing right now. I'm going to try the PS remote play window, and I think it's going to jimmy back and forth between resolutions. It's doing that in the preview.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does that.
It's
so you're just going to get the OBS.
That's pretty wild. That's quite alright. I know what this game sounds like.
I've noticed that the OBS trick has gotten better, where it like auto crops to the window preview and not like any of the other nonsense.
You can also pull another trick where in OBS you can pop out the preview window and just capture that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I could do that, but my streaming setup for this game is already pretty weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking back to when I would do setups that had like my drop mix going on the side and what that actually required. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not doing that anymore.
Once I got it figured out, this was not so bad. Mostly it was figuring out how to have the PS Remote Play up while still being able to play it on my PS4. Because most of the time, PS Remote Play wants to take charge and have you play through it. But that has extra latency. And I don't want extra latency.
You want visceral attacks on huge men.
Yeah, give me your butt. And that's the power of Player 2. Player 2 allows me to, Player 1 is watching the game, and then Player 2 is playing the game. It's the opposite of my childhood. let's talk to this person. Tell me your insane things.
Wretched outsider. Trying to fool me to
They just call you that because you're technically outdoors.
We are outside.
Outsider. Yeah.
I guess we are also wearing. They can see our clothes.
Oh, right, foreign garb.
Our foreign garb. Maybe okay. This is how I'll disguise myself. Oh wait, look what that did.
Oh man. The juice from the visceral attack.
Yeah, we call this is what they call a hunter's tan, not like a farmer's tan, like the smearings. Okay, we're back here, and that doesn't get you anything. I guess it gets you here. I think this is the
I don't know your voice.
Yeah, this is their first game that I felt was kind of obsessed with switchbacks and, like, unlockable shortcuts.
If you want to find him, I'm all alone. Really?
It's just, you also had teleport to any bonfire from the word jump, and there was very little reason to ever, like, retraverse areas. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, where the thing became... Look at that glowing ball over there. What is that?
I think that is a pool of water that's reflecting a lamp.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too, but it looks like a ball of fire. Like,
Yeah, the problem being that it looks like an item. So it's like... Wait, that's a literal mirage?
It's a mirage! Take a look at this. It's a ball of fire. I showed a Dragon Ball fan Big Green for the first time in their life recently.
Well, I hope they appreciated it.
They were mostly...
I can't imagine not.
I can't imagine not either. They had problems with the cannon. Because, what's his name that's in Super Battle for the World? Is Goku's brother, but... I don't know. Who gives a shit? Not me.
Yeah, I'm not going to have arguments with people who play Dragon Ball Fighters about how many Gokus are in that game, because it always ticks me off.
Too many Gokus.
Like, Gohan does not count as half a Goku because he's his child. That's not how anything works. I refuse.
That's not how it works.
Not when we have things like people magically fusing together and like people from alternate timelines and shit. I'm not gonna. That game does have way too many Gokus in it, though. Even by my reckoning.
Okay, I think being naked has its drawbacks. Which is that these men are dealing damage to me. Half Goku
And these guys are kind of bastards. They can strike from much further away than it looks.
They got them Bloodborne arms.
And it's hard to actually see them.
Luckily...
Which is a problem I have with, like, a lot of this game. Especially when it's, like, locked to 30 FPS. And it's like, I can't make sense of what's going on the screen right now, please.
Luckily you can do this for a lot of them. Monsters that do not have legs are slow, it turns out. However...
That's a pretty good approach.
The Hunter's Axe is so good. I guess I could show off another weapon I like, though. I think, underused Saw Spear.
Probably because you have to go out of your way to get it. Like, slight bit of friction is enough.
This might kill me.
Yeah, this goes one of two ways. You, like, correctly get out of the way and then give it a rectal exam, or you die.
Nasty!
Alright. Very good.
Really, it's the saw spear is kind of like this game's broadsword, only kind of in reverse, where the saw is kind of the broadsword, and this is kind of the long sword. The saw cleaver.
There are a lot of weapons to like in this game. My favorite is still Tonitrus. That thing is a criminal. It needs more range. I want a buff to Tonitrus. It should hit from further away.
That's what the tiny Tonitrus is for. My plan is to try to get and use the Ligarius wheel.
Oh, the pizza cutter?
Not the pizza cutter.
Went into the DLC?
The wheel.
Oh.
Up, I hit the PS5 button. I tried to switch weapons.
Not sure I'm not sure I ever used the wheel. That'll be
you have
weird,
to
probably.
beat Castle Canehurst to get it. Because I'm pretty sure you get it from Martyr Ligarius. But it is the strength and arcane weapon. Yeah, I hit the Dookie button. I hit this button and then Dookie comes on screen. This is the power of player 2. Where that lets this work. Thank you, Dookie. The ability to start with whatever cool weapon. I empathize with that, but I also like having like quests to go and one problem all of these games have is usually there's a weapon you find in the first 1 to 3 areas, and you really hope to find a weapon you like in the first 1 to 3 areas that you can marry and use the entire game. I think a significant problem with Shadow of the Erd Tree is that they add all this new stuff and it's all at the end of the game.
I know, right?
You cannot get it early.
And they still have that terrible upgrade system that they've been using forever. So that, like, there's basically, you find enough resources to upgrade one thing to maximum, 2 if you use a different kind of upgrade material. And that's, like, then you're just, that's it. Until you get to, like, New Game Plus.
Yeah, I guess Shadow of the Erd Tree is kind of like New Game Plus content, I guess, but even then, it's
I've never been a New Game Plus gamer in any of these. And hearing them evaluated that way always kind of weirds me out, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, cool, I guess, but, like, why? Why would you... Like, what more do you get out of it by doing the same thing with bigger numbers? And the answer is, like, certain weapons and strategies only really make any sense in New Game Plus.
Status effects,
I'm
baby.
thinking, like... Yeah. I'm thinking, like, Grant or, Artorias' Greatsword or whatever.
Yeah. Am I doing the thing again where I try to get to Cleric Beast first, but always end up going to my boy. Should I fight Daddy?
If you want. I mean, it's a fine time to fight him. Unless you wanted specifically to do the little mini quest where you could get an item that temporarily inconveniences him slightly.
I mean, I already have it.
Ah.
Really what I think I'm going to do is I could go spend my souls. If I get the boss fight to start, I'll get my insight. I can go talk to the doll. You know Gascoigne's real because he uses the hunter's axe.
Beasts all over the shop.
And he's Irish.
You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
He's also a cheater because his gun actually does damage.
Yeah, his hunter's shotgun is good, whereas yours is bad. I think becoming a beast makes you grow more teeth. Because we see guys with lots of teeth. Yep. I can't do that because I ain't got online. So I'm not paying for it.
Hello, good hunter. I am a doll, here in this dream to look after you. Honorable hunter, pursue the echoes of blood, and I will channel them into your strength. You will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you.
You can have teeth on the inside. What are those things called? They're like cysts that can have teeth and hair growing in them. Teratomas? Yeah, I think that's what they are. So you can have teeth on the inside.
Let the echoes become. Let me.
Well, you cannot go wrong leveling up health. And I think I will level up health. Then everything else goes into the potion fund.
Like, I'm glad that they experimented with the formula and all that, but Estus did not need fixing.
Yeah, Estus was very good. And in fact, I do think they've made Estus better. I think Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 had it right. Or Dark Souls 2's implementation was left some things to be desired, like a lot of its.
I mean, the only part about that I don't really like in Elden Ring is how you explore and get the items. Where if you just like you can just torrent your way to all of them.
That's everything
freely.
That's everything in Elden Ring, though. If you just know where something is, you can just horse there and get them.
I think it's egregious in the case of the health items because both kinds of them are always next to the same kind of thing.
Yeah, you just gotta go.
So you only need to like see that happen twice, and then it's like, oh well, now I can identify that's from space. So, all right.
That is one thing I don't like, is that every Elden Ring character kind of feels like they should start the same way, which is you take 40 minutes to go everywhere that you can get without needing any items to get all the upgrades and potion upgrades you can get. So it adds like a little text every new playthrough where...
Yeah, it's like character creation actually lasts for half an hour, and
I guess I should go stop by Jamiroquai to top off my blood bullets.
I guess the real thing then is, like, someday when I'm bored, I should just make a bunch of new characters and do the, you know, the pre-game hustle on all of them.
Yeah, like,
and just have a bunch of stacks of, like, the fun part ready to go.
I call that doing your taxes. I used a potion instead of tricking my weapon. Because that is, it's not in my DNA that this button does this.
No, the funniest screw up I would commonly do in Bloodborne when I was playing is the button that turns your health into temporary bullets.
Yeah. Up on the D-pad.
This is an important button to have for various strategies, but you know, it's kind of embarrassing.
It does just eat. It does just destroy some of your health.
Yeah. I mean, I say it turns blood vials into bullets, but it does. That's just because you universally just use a blood vial right after doing that.
Ball? Are you not gonna ball? Up, here comes
He's
Ball.
taking his union-mandated 15-minute break. Break time's over.
Really boy did not do a good job of killing those men with Ball. Excuse me. Okay, Daddy.
Trade, but that was better for you than for him.
I'm trying to be... Is this fancy play syndrome?
Well, I mean, there is something to it where, if you get the numbers right, you can like, you can get further into the fight before he transforms.
It's enough to make a man sick.
He's about to, speaking of, I think he's about to transform.
I think if you took a really funky route, you could get to Bloodstarved Beast, and then Chalice Dungeons, and then all sorts of nonsense is on the table. And then you could first fight Father Gascoigne with like 3 claw mark runes and your physical attack doing 600% damage or some nonsense. We got a lot of options in Bloodborne. It's one of the reasons it stays one of my favorites.
I might have been greedy.
I think if we
Oh wow!
oh no! Come on!
I got killed on the stand-up. My killing attack was coming out of my body, and then he struck me.
Oh my god! Yeah.
We're just getting our maximum gas coin time. We gotta enjoy our gas coin for the maximum amount of time.
Mm. A death by inches.
Death by degrees. Tekken. I never heard of that game in my life, and then Grimbeard makes a video, and then shortly after, Sebmal streams it. You gotta... on the uptick. Tekken's coming back, baby. Nina Williams, is that her name?
I have no idea. But if you like that kind of gameplay, in Street Fighter 6, Mai also has the grab opponent by the head, flip over, throw them by the head move.
Coins. I'm bad at fighting games. So I don't play them, because I'm afraid of them. I guess I can... I can try out this. If you use it 3 times, you skip straight to phase 2 if you prefer it.
Not something I would usually recommend, but I don't know.
It has its purposes.
Maybe you have, like, special tools against beasts or something. I don't know.
Fire paper, I think it's worth doing. I don't know how you would get a lot of fire paper at this point in the game.
Probably trading your madman's knowledge at the insight store. I think you can get it there. You have to get someone's special thing first, but that can be done. Like, the early game is a lot more open than you might think.
Now, can I run somewhere that ball won't hurt me? Over here. Ball. God, she shot me while I was using the music box.
What a cheater. I think Dark Souls 3 has the best death ball. The one that's visibly made of a bunch of skeletons, and you can see the skeletons, like, collaborating to collectively grab the ball and make it move. That's kind of great. You love to see the gang working together.
And there's a crab inside.
And bonus.
Bastard. I want to get one more. But... robbed me of my riposte.
Yeah, that's what the trade timing gets you. That's pretty choice.
There we go. Got the Entomb key. I could switch action. Can I switch action? Alright. Yeah, I got a Chivo for Dookie. Why do they have to spell fetid like that? Doll's not here. Do you think they have the doll move sometimes to make you look for her, so sometimes you... Is this like a way to get you to find the inside shop? You know what, sure.
I don't really know. I know that at certain point, I don't know if this is still true, because I haven't seen a Bloodborne speedrun in like years, but at some point, part of the speedrun involved killing the doll so that she wouldn't move.
Yeah, so she won't move.
Welcome home.
You can still level up
Very
while
well.
she's dead, which is weird, but, you know, whatever.
Farewell, good hunt.
What happens if you kill the Emerald Herald? Can you even do that?
You can kill the Emerald Herald. If you do, you can't level up. She drops the Aged Feather. You can't upgrade Estes. And then after like 4 to 6 in-game hours, her tombstone will appear. And you can pay souls to talk to her at the tombstone. I got the Saw Hunter's badge.
That's kind of like a reverse Deckard Cain, where if you... Instead of if you save his life, he'll identify items for you for free. If you kill her, she will make you pay a tax.
Yeah. That's just how NPCs work in Dark Souls 2, is you kill them after each NPC has a timer. After the timer, enough time passes, they will spawn a tombstone that you can use to summon their ghost. And I believe the Emerald Herald's is the longest. I think Laddersmith Gilliam might be the shortest. I don't recall. Well. Now time for me to fail to remember where the Cleric Beast is at. But very funnily, she does not even drop the Estus Flask if you talk to her. If you kill her, the only thing she drops is the Aged Feather. Which makes sense, because that game's Mephistopheles wants you to prove that you've killed her by getting the Aged Feather. And like every item he wants you to get, there's just an alternate way of getting it, which is progress the plot. It's actually progressed the plot an extremely short distance forward, because you find Mephistopheles in Aldia's Keep, and you get the Aged Feather at the start of the Dragon Area, directly after Aldia's Keep. You're very likely to get the Aged Feather before figuring out you can talk to him.
Hey, dead in one visceral. That's really good.
Yeah, we're coming
the early game Blood Vial Harvest.
Yeah, we're doing that. I'm coming by here anyways, so there's no reason not to come here, get my 4 Blood Vials. Might get a 5th here. And then we kill Grandpa, get our 4 blood bullets. Nothing here. Okay.
There should be another way out of that room that gets you where
yeah, there's
you need to go, though.
There's the door that gets me back up to the bridge. Which I think if I fight the dogs, I can get
No, that's not even what I'm talking about.
Oh. Oh, do I go? Oh, do I go upstairs? You can go upstairs.
Yeah, there should be. Yeah. That's the ticket.
There's the doggies.
Yep.
which you should not fight.
Yeah, probably still a bad idea to fight him.
Probably just better off.
Yeah, this can be a little hairy too, because you know, the little guy's kind of covered with the big guy. Thankfully, not that big.
I should have healed before doing that, but...
One more for the bank.
Okay, here comes the real audio test.
This is probably one of the few games that I think has enough screaming in it. I wouldn't want to add more. It's also a terrible boss. I really don't like this one.
Very flaily. In a cramped location.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a tutorial for the limb breaking mechanic, which I played the entire game through without understanding. So I don't think they did a super good job about that one.
Yeah, that's one of the things where I cannot truly review this game objectively, because I already know all that shit.
Oh, right.
Pretty sure I can hit her in the head if I do my follow-up.
Oh, yeah, the big overhead chop. Timing might not work out though. And again, with, like, between the timing of everything and rally, you get a lot. You can get a lot out of the fight by just like wilding out. So it's like, what are we really learning if that's the approach that we're taking to the battle? What I'm saying is, in Elden Ring, they should let you see the poise meter.
Actually,
Splitting that saw bonus to beast.
you're really getting some chunks of damage in there. What I remember about the saw spear is that the trick combo is very good. And the Sword Hunter badge is basically all you do that for. What could it mean?
What, a manhole cover?
Is this a hoop? What's the lore? We don't have an adequate explanation for that one hat that's on the ground. And right here there is some kind of hoop. No one
Deep
knows.
questions. Nah, these games never really have plots anyway.
It's a rich tapestry. This one in particular. A lot of the Souls games are just regular old monomyth. But this game doesn't have a plot. Alright.
Very well.
Actually, before I channel Blood Echoes, I could upgrade my tool slightly, right? Like without the Hunter's tools. Yeah.
+2.
+2 Hunter's X. That's true. Don't think too hard about it. Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. That's the plot of the game. Rest goes into... Actually... I'm gonna buy some antidotes.
Getting spicy.
I've done most of what there is to do in Central Yarnum. I haven't found... I need to get the gemstone so I can... The NPC... This game has like the worst NPC quests of any of the games in it. Because what I can do is I can get the thingy from here that has the daughter's cameo in it. And that'll convince her to leave. But then she'll go and get eaten by a pig, and if I kill that pig I've already killed before, I'll get the blood-soaked slippers or whatever. It's all pretty pointless. And this game has it all. It has very narrow timing windows for NPC quests combined with obscure requirements combined with nebulous rewards.
Yeah, they're not great. I think I ended up doing like half of one on my first playthrough. And then it's like, okay, screw this, we're gonna look some shit up.
Yeah, and it can be even hard to figure out when you've messed up, because like if you mess up Eileen the Crow's quest, the only way you'll really find out is if you ever go back to the room where you fight Vicar Amelia. She's just there and she's aggroed. The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame.
I don't remember that being there.
This is here. It tells you about Rom the stupid spider.
They patched that in? What's with that?
No, I think that's just always been there. I think, but it's like there's in the room with the guy I farm blood bullets from, there's a note that is basically, it might say the sky in the cosmos or one or whatever. There's some of those all over the game. It's time for your favorite guy.
That's right, Floor Crade.
It's time for Floor Crade. I don't even remember why we call him that.
So, I started playing this game pretty soon after there was some like Super Metroid ROM hack that turned everything 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Which is where I came up with the phrase Floor Crade, even though really that should have been Wall Crade, and Crade is Floor Crade.
Yeah, Crade is Floor Crade.
Floor Crade stuck in my brain. It's there forever now. And then we just decided that this guy was Floor Crade.
That guy's Floor Crade. Now, it would behoove me to kill him right now. Because he drops a rune that I forget what it does. And you can duplicate it, because you know that thing in Dark Souls 3 where if you kill that mimic and then walk back and forth?
Oh my god. Yeah, and you go far enough away.
It respawns his corpse. You can do that to Floor Crade and duplicate the rune that he drops. However,
that's mean though. We don't want to do that.
I think where you have to go is to where Alfred is. Stickman. The place where Alfred first shows up, I think that's where you go. But I couldn't tell you where that is, only that it exists. I was hoping to be able to kill you in one R2.
Ugh, that's something else that I dislike about basically every FromSoft game, is where they reuse enemy models that juice the numbers just because you're in a later area.
Yeah. The
Look,
painted
we've had
world,
this technology.
the painted world guys,
Yeah.
especially.
That's probably the most egregious example. It's like, oh, well, I know those guys, and they like they beat the brakes off you, and it's like, oh, fuck. What's with that? And like, look, JRPGs have had this technology for like 50 years at this point. You change up the palette, maybe you give them a little hat. Just something to visually indicate that this is a different monster with different numbers.
That is a very interesting question that I would love to research. What was the first palette swap?
Oh man. I mean, you can go back to Dragon Quest. Like, Red Slime is right there.
I mean, I think it has to be older than that, though. It depends on how you define it. Because if you wanted to be, like, strictly... It's got to be like Atari games where there's multiple players and you're just guys that we have to define more strictly what a palette swap thing is. Because, like, Mario and Luigi in Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that for this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm using it in the sense of, like, a way to visually indicate...
that this guy is different from that guy.
Differentiate for the player.
Yeah.
Like, a way to use the palette swap to transfer knowledge to the player, in particular of an enemy being more dangerous than an extremely similar-looking one. And done with the same tiles as the game renders it, right? Because if you just... Like, that wouldn't count, like, giving them a hat, because that's a different set of tiles. And the whole reason that we had to do it in the first place was to save space on the cartridge.
Yeah, and it becomes very nebulous with Atari games, because there an entity might just be like a colored rectangle. And is it really is it really a palette swap?
Yeah,
if I forgot that guy was there. Is it really a palette swap if there's a red rectangle and a yellow rectangle in there? Like, does that count? Or does it have to be like applying a different palette set to the same sprite?
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with how, like, ancient Atari games are actually rendered. It would not surprise me if they do some weird bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is Rogue a palette swap if the characters are a different color? I don't know if Rogue actually does that.
Different ones definitely do, where, I know Adom, if it's a yellow F, that means it's a cave tiger, but if it's or a cave lion, but if it's a red F, that means it's a cave, tiger.
Wizardry might be the first instance, then?
I'm sure Ultima does it, if we're going that old.
Yeah, maybe. My god, do I have to thank Richard Garriott for something?
No, you can thank him by burning down his yacht that he used his Kickstarter money for and then didn't develop the game. There are nice things to say about Richard Garriott, but that he's done that in recent memory means that I have trouble saying them. Ultima 1 didn't have a palette. Ultima 3, they were different sprites. That is a game I'm thinking of playing.
So probably the true answer could possibly be like some college student project
Oh yeah, there are tons of like. If we're going on, you can't judge off lost media, though. I don't think.
Yeah.
There's so much of it, and I guess we can define our answers to extant examples only, or qualified thus, like the oldest extant example of a palette swap. A door that opens from the
We
side.
would need at least a couple colors, you know?
Yeah. The oldest game I can think of didn't have colors. It's Tennis for Two, which really was just some white balls on a screen you could control with a paddle. No, Tennis for Two, I think, started off. There was the first quote-unquote game was by the Tennis for Two guy, and it was just like an oscilloscope with two knobs, and you could chase each other's vector graphic dot with another vector graphic dot with a knob, and he called it a game, which I guess it was. Alfred, my man.
You're a beast hunter, aren't you? I knew it. That's precisely how I started out. Oh, beg pardon. You may call me Alfred, protege of Master Ligarius, hunter of vile bloods.
So hereabouts is where you would have to run?
Yeah.
Prey might differ.
To get far enough away to
runes?
unload the corpse so that it loads back
Why
in.
not cooperate and discuss the things we've learned?
He's about to say the thing.
Oh, very good. Very good indeed. Take this to celebrate our acquaintance.
Multiple characters say that, I think. And then Alfred gives you fire paper. And prey.
Beast hunting is a sacred practice.
Yeah, the good blood.
There must be oodles for us to share. Go on, just tell. Byrgenwerth is an old place of learning, and the Tomb of the Gods, carved out below Yharnam, should be familiar to every hunter. Well, once a group of young Byrgenwerth scholars discovered a holy
yes.
medium
The
deep
old
within the
gods,
tomb.
foremost of the
This
elements.
led to the founding of the Healing Church and the establishment of blood healing. In this sense, everything's sacred in Yap, but today, the college
Yeah,
further
yep,
its own, but only.
Yep, sure.
I bid you farewell. May the good blood.
There's good blood and old blood, and you fear the blood, and I don't know. Bloodborne.
Yeah, they say that, but I'm not convinced. That's what has me so frustrated with these games sometimes. Like the showing and the telling are sort of at odds. And it's not like I think Alfred is lying or something to try and intentionally deceive you. I think that they just didn't really put it together.
Yeah, I don't know if
not
this,
as smart as people give him credit for.
Yeah, I don't know if this game is as coherent. Several of them I think are plenty coherent, but I'm not sure to what extent. Is there a guy around the corner who will be mean to me? I got a blood gem. I earned a trophy.
Ugh. Blood gems are so disappointing.
They're very weird because of how incremental they are.
Yeah, we wanted to have a Diablo-esque loot system, but not really.
It may be Dragon Quest. That might be true. I have to think there are older games, though, because Dragon Quest is...
Yeah, that's why I went to Wizardry,
yeah.
because that was like a pretty direct inspiration for Dragon Quest.
Because Dragon Quest wasn't quite early NES, it was like mid-NES, wasn't it? When did Dragon Quest 1 come out?
Wheel? I'm free to look things up.
86.
Not to be confused with Dragon Quest. What are you talking about?
Do Pac-Man ghosts count? I don't think so. No, they're not. They're because Pac-Man ghosts are identical. They're just well, they're not. God, is it Pac-Man? Because the Pac-Man, the ghosts have different behavior, and they're differentiated.
They do
from
have different. Yeah.
Depending on how strictly you define it, they may or may not count.
Yeah, I think this is a matter of terms. 86.
Yeah, I could. Tempering Blood Gemstone 1.
The moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight. If the beasts loom large and threaten to crush your spirits, seek a holy chalice.
Okay, so very possibly only 40 years that we have had that technique, and not 50 as I originally claimed. But the investigation is ongoing.
The investigation's ongoing. But that is a game I'm considering playing. Not Ultima 1 or 2 or 3, but Ultima Underworld 2. That's a game that interests me. Because I really like Grimrock and Grimrock 2, but I'm ashamed to say I haven't actually played many games of that genre. And Ultima Underworld kind of is. It's not quite a blobber, as they call them. What a demeaning name for a game genre. A blobber.
A blobber?
Yeah. I believe they call it that, because your characters move usually you have multiple characters and they all move in a mass facing the same direction.
Oh.
Like a blob. At least that's my understanding. I don't know if Ultima Underworld exactly counts, but it's close.
You there? Hunter!
I've thought now and then about trying to hunt down wizardry itself, giving that one a go. A kind of like, try to connect with the source, see where it all started. But then I remember things that I know about wizardry that I'm like, that's not appealing. Maybe I don't need to know this.
We're getting pretty close to the source by playing Baroque. Wasn't there the wizardry one thing I'm thinking of might be a mobile game thingy? What am I thinking of? It's like Wizardry Dorothy or something. What the fuck is it called?
What?
What am I thinking of, Massazaw? Also, where do I jump here to skip the area?
You're pretty close to it. How much skipping of the area do you want?
I think I've already gone too far. I'm just gonna Polter Smart. There's a way to jump over here, and then you go up the ladder, and you go to the area backwards to skip Durja's Wizardry Variants Daphne. That's what I'm thinking of. Apparently that's very good, but also like a Japanese mobile game, so I don't know what to tell you about it.
Bit outside my wheelhouse, I think.
Forgot why I know that exists. I guess I can look things up too. Old Yarnum Skip, hit enter. Tell me about Old Yarnum Skip. Old Yarnum Skip tutorial 2021. Alright.
I didn't even think this was that much of a skip.
This is the jump. Okay, you jump towards at the edge of the roof at the steeple. Okay, I'll try that part first. I wanted to get this anyways. I don't know how much of a skip this is either, but... especially not when you do it like that. So you're like... where do they actually jump from?
I think you have to jump earlier so that you have the height of the roof.
Yeah. I'll check the video. Okay, they jump at the patch of grass. Which... might be where I learned that the grass is like... okay, they jump at this patch of grass lined up with that steeple. And the camera is like auto-fixing on junk. Okay, whatever. My jump didn't...
You should be able to safely fall from here, actually, I think.
yeah, this is just another pass through. To get over there, but the jump ends you up like over there on the streets. Where is this? I think brings me back to the top. Ooh, yeah, you might be more amenable to wizardry than not. Because there was at least one Etrian Odyssey you liked, right?
I did like Etrian Odyssey 2. I think... it's so weird, because I played Etrian Odyssey 3 also, and, while there are so many things about it that I can consider, like, direct improvements to Etrian Odyssey 2, I didn't like it as much. Like, all of the improvements together failed to cohere into something that was actually genuinely better, which is hard for me to justify, I know, but it's weird, that one.
I can believe that. Sometimes the sum is not the whole of its parts, you know? Sometimes...
I think what I might do to try to turn Etrian Odyssey 3 into a game that I like is go into it with a gimmick. So one of the improvements in EO3 is that about halfway through, like a third of the way through the game, it's a long ass game. You gain access to secondary classes in addition to primary classes. So every one of your characters can have 2 character classes. And you can like level up both trees, and it's strong, it's cool. It's like, all right, now I get a ton of new toys to play with. But it also means that suddenly information overload, right? Because now you need to refactor everything you know for how it works with everything else. And it's like, what combination of classes is the best? What actually like adds to your kit, and instead of serving as something that, you know, kind of works at cross purposes to it. And so what I'm going to do when I get to playing Etrian Odyssey 3 again is make 5 monks.
5 monks.
All monks. Because monks in that game, they can be built sort of as either front or back row characters. Like, you can just have them be your healer. Oh, that's not good. We're going to be falling for a little bit. Like, you can build them for damage, you can build them for tankiness, you can build them for, like, healing magic. Really, the only thing they don't have access to is, like, black magic.
And for that, they have their fists.
Right. So I'm thinking I'll start out with just 5 monks and like build them all slightly differently, but everyone will be able to both heal and raise, which is an amazing capability to have in those games. I'm surprised it started you here. Oop.
So somewhere here there is a spot where I need to jump. I'll try this 1 or 2 more times, and then I'll just get on with the damn thing. So you'll have different monks, and then we'll like, you could spec one of them into like a black wizard, right? And then have access to.
And that's sort of the idea. They're like, it'll start out like dead simple, and then once I get like access to secondary classes, those will sort of become my defining 5 party members that way. And it will like provide at least a little additional challenge, because that's another thing that, you know, maybe led to me liking Etrian Odyssey 2 a little more.
That's how hard it was.
Yeah, it was bastard hard. And by making it simpler, it's like, well, like, why am I playing this instead of like an even simpler game, right? I thought they pulled back too much. They should have kept some of the cruelty in. But the flip side of this is that there's only really like 1 or 2 valid ways to deal like endgame levels of damage. And I like guessed my way into one of them. I was just correct in one character choice, and that led to like everything working. If I hadn't done that, then I would probably have stopped playing. I'd be like, okay, well, these bosses are too bullshit.
Now, would your monks have access to one of those correct damage outputs, or?
I don't think that that's true of 3 the way it was of 2. So there's more than 2 things you can do to actually dish out damage. And I'm hoping the monks will be capable of it. But honestly, you never really know. They make some wild fucking choices with their damage formulas in those games. I've also seen people play the, like, Etrian Odyssey remasters, which has, like, oh my god, it has, like, 2 through 5 in it, I think. And honestly, I thought the remasters looked bad. It was like taking a filter over your pixel art and just smoothing everything. It's like, what the hell?
It's like that cat.
Yeah. The meme image of the cat. HD remaster.
I'm enjoying myself right now. But if I waste all my potions doing this, I'll have to go to the Burly Boy farm. That's like the fun tax. Okay, that was perfect. So I need to run in a straight line that way, and there'll be a place to jump once I... And then my jump didn't jump out, but I ended up here.
Ooh. This looks promising, actually. Oh. Huh. It no longer looks promising.
Can you stick jump in this game, or do you have to do the double tap jump?
I think you have to do the double tap. Don't actually know.
Normally, I prefer the double tap jump. My double tap jumps are not coming out. Yep, alright. Granted, I am doing something the game would never expect you to do, but that kind of includes jumping at all, so why include it in the game if, That's a new one. Okay, we'll try one more time. After which I'll just go play the game normal. Yeah, I made like a blood squunching noise. It sounded like there was a balloon full of juice in my boots.
Free juice.
I'm sure I'm messing up this part of the setup because the camera likes to turn around. I think I jumped too early. Okay, let's get on with it.
Gonna go get shot at?
Let's go get shot at. Then I can get up there and I can kill his punk ass and be over with it. How many potions do I got? Oh, does it not list them here?
That's kind of wild. What? The answer is 0. That's
No, I have 20 of them. I wanted to see if I could count how many I had in storage.
Right.
But I guess I can only do that at the messenger. How very strange. These guys are here to stock me up. Torch versus Hunter's Torch. I mean, I guess I just... no, going down there just gets me back up, right?
Which you will eventually need to do to carry on with getting shot at.
I remember there being like a little, side passage over here. Looks like my blood is on a pedestal.
Hmm.
A beast repellent torch would be pretty good in this game. Especially with its ability to turn invisible things visible. No, that's the sentry's torch. Never mind. Okay. Time to get shot at.
That's right, we're playing American Gladiators now.
Malibu. Kind of feeling my lack of stamina.
Yeah, I forget if there even is anything like the Chloranthy ring in this.
I don't believe so.
I'm sure there's some rune, but, you know...
Not to my knowledge.
Those do like a million things. I suppose I could look it up. Alright.
I don't even think there's weed in this game.
You are a skilled hunter, adept, merciless, half-cut with blood, as the best hunters are.
Oh, there's a boost to max stamina.
I can hear footsteps stomping around. And I think I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah, I think the closest thing would be the anti-clockwise metamorphosis. Or just having more stamina. It's kind of wild. What about the orange? Not even a complete list. Oh, it's categorized. Okay.
I got a blood tinge bloodstone. Wow. My blood tinge. Not going to be very good, I'm afraid to say. Did I walk into the dying spit? I walked it, I got cornered.
The next time you dream, give some thought.
Galaxian. Different colors to indicate score values in 1979. Now, did they have the same behavior, or were they just worth different numbers of points? It is a fickle thing, though. Like, what exactly is the distinction between a palette swap and... Ah, this might be a mistake. Like, what exactly distinction are we making? Because, like, the thing we're definitely thinking of is, like, slime and then another slime that's a different color, that's a stronger slime. Like, how is that different from some kind of old vertical shooter where there's green triangles and yellow and purple triangles? But that, if not the source, that is certainly like a pre-evolution of the concept.
You know, the real answer is probably Kriegspiel. Everything's Kriegspiel.
German for war game?
Yep. It was, if you can believe it, the first war game. Well, that we have record of anyway.
Oh, you bastard.
And it's influenced everything from, like, chess to StarCraft to, like...
Now there's the ooh and an on. Now, do you think I can defeat the world's greatest powder kegger?
I sure hope so. He can be a tricky one.
I have a plan. It's not a very good one.
I'm curious to hear what the plan is.
The plan is to try to knock him off the ladder. Back over here. I think he's wise to my plan.
Oh, hey!
I didn't hear that beautiful sound though. Oh, but now I do. He even landed in a highly convenient location. Yeah, whole gaming. You want to play ladder with me, you son of a bitch? I'm the second best ladder gamer in the world. I don't think there's anything else up here. But making peace with the beasts of Yharnam is actually really difficult. It involves getting up here without him ever smelling you. And your reward for doing so is the powder kegger badge. And I think a gesture.
Yeah, I forget how to even do that. But I remember it sucking, so...
Also, you can't fight Dark Beast Pearl. Because fighting her is, like, immediately angers him for some reason.
Wait, really? I thought that was... I thought you had to, like, enter the ship from the back to even...
I think you have to enter the ship from the back without fighting Pearl.
I don't think that's possible.
I might be half remembering something.
I don't know. It's been a minute.
I mean, trying to recall a Bloodborne NPC side quest is like,
oh my god,
hard work on the best of days. All right, come here, Screamy. This is kind of a Hunter's Axe gameplay.
Might not like it, but this is what peak performance.
Yeah, just
the Hunter's Axe looks like.
I mean, you have a launch. Are you not going to use it?
Shoutouts to Ender Magnolia for having the best of both worlds of fall damage. In that game, you do not take fall damage, but any enemies that you guard break do. So there's this entire, like, systems mechanic designed around you being able to, like, shove people in holes, but you don't have to worry about it yourself. really great stuff.
Up, right away.
I now understand why you wanted the antidotes.
I made some bullets because I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, good.
It's fine. It'll let me use my cool hunter's tools more, of which I'll find one eventually. Okay.
Yeah, I never did a wizard plan in this game. It seemed too demanding. Like, nothing felt like a solid payoff for it, you know?
Tiny to nitrous is, from what I can tell, very, very, very powerful. And I know you like normal to nitrous.
Yeah,
Or,
it's my favorite trick weapon. I use it even against things it's bad against. I don't give a shit.
I'm trying to do things other than the Hunter's Axe game plan and getting punished. So I should just do the Hunter's Axe game plan. Augur Vibritus is another one. It's not a. There's more Hunter's tools than you think. It's just some of them are not useful. Or some of them aren't useful for wizards, like the dash. And some of them are very slow, like the crocodile. Although the crocodile does a ton of damage. And if you do the Forbidden Forest gate skip, I believe that is the first one you can get.
Really, I ought to teach myself the Forbidden Pizza Wheel technique at some point.
Ah.
That's where you do, like, an animation cancel to put the two-handed pizza cutter's attack animation onto a cannon.
Yes. And then you fire a cannon shot every time the pizza wheel would spin.
Yeah, you fire cannon shots irresponsibly frequently. I don't know how possible that is.
Well, even if it's frame perfect,
how
it's
the
only...
game has been patched and
it's not been patched. Yeah, you can
what
still
my
do
own
it.
capabilities are.
If you can nail a 30, I don't even think it's frame perfect, but if it is, it's only a 30 frame game. Huh?
Yeah, I guess. That's like a 2-frame window.
It's like a two frame window. It's like I routinely do frame perfect tricks in Ocarina of Time, but that's a 22 frame game, so it's our 20 frame game, so it's pretty easy.
Mm.
Also, a lot of the frame perfect tricks in that game you can like spam. Or you usually have a lot of time. It's like getting Infinite Sword glitch. Usually you can just take your time getting it. Getting it off bombs is harder.
Yeah, dude, the technique in question is invariably done in the heat of battle.
Yeah. It's, although you might be able to set it up outside of battle, because it doesn't cost blood bullets. Once you're going, it doesn't cost blood bullets.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know how long it lasts, though. I don't think it's like...
I think it lasts until you stop putting the input. Like, as long as you keep flicking the input, it'll keep going. It's
right.
There's a almost...
Which is stamina limited, still.
No, I think once you're going, it stops costing
arena...
stamina, actually.
Really?
I think so.
So with any boss arena that you don't have to like enter the fog gate for,
yeah,
you could maybe set it up outside, and then that just
because there's a very
gradually straddle towards the boss shooting cannon.
there's a very similar glitch in Dark Souls 3 where you swap the auto crossbow onto a great bow. So you're doing the weapon art for the auto crossbow, but firing great arrows. And there was a very similar thing in Dark Souls, in Elden Ring, actually. They patched it out of Elden Ring. Where I think the exact... No, the thing Elden Ring had was, its pizza cutter, you could give it infinite range on its weapon art.
Hilarious.
They patched that, though. Yeah, that's the real Destructo Disc. I said that weapon isn't better. The pizza cutter.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's really good in this game, but in Elden Ring, it's kind of mid. I've forgotten how you get down there from here. This just brings you back up to the shortcut.
There should be like a ramp or ladder or something.
This just brings you back to the door up there.
Like, I don't remember it being that hard.
Me either, but...
then again, I mean...
Bloodborne's level design is a little convoluted, like everything else in it. Esoteric. That's how you say convoluted, but nice. I would say the story to Bloodborne is very esoteric. Here's the worst part of the game.
Oh, the fucking unnamed stray human similar hunters that are just out there.
The input readers.
Yeah. They're just like you, except way more health, and their bullets do more damage.
You not, do your thing. I'll look at him backstep.
Getting some mileage out of those extra bullets.
Okay, let's stop fooling around. I hear dogs. Was he just repeatedly running into the fire?
Took damage from something.
Oh, also they have potions.
Yep.
You hit me from there. Run into the fire, you idiot.
like they're all unbelievably tanky.
And they all have
Is the other thing.
they
It's
also
like,
have poise. I'm trying to humiliate him. Except I'm out of blood. There we go.
Yeesh. What a pain.
He does drop a good item, though. Speaking of the cannon. Okay. Give me your pebble. Who's stomping around? Look at this guy. Slave Knight Gale over here.
Just hanging out.
I think I'm just going back to the beginning of the area. Really got blood on me, though.
Oh yeah, we're soaked to the bone. That does not look safe.
I remember jumping over there.
That's not that bad. Hop, hop. Okay.
Oh. There are men here. Yeah. Come over here without screaming. Yeah, it's time for,
Oh, that's a lot of them.
yeah, it's time for, Hunter's Axe Gaming. Oh, they're leaving. I evaded their patrol, pal.
Yay, more blood vials.
And my prize. It's a tempering blood gemstone. I'm sure that does something. 0.13% blunt damage.
Something like that.
Yeah, this is a meaningless developer note. But I got the rifle spear. A strange item, indeed. And the Charred Hunter gear, which is useful.
There's one item upgrade, I want to call it that I kind of want to put in your hands.
Yeah?
The hand lantern.
I remember the hand lantern. I don't remember where it's at.
You can buy it from the Bath Messengers.
Ah. Probably worth getting.
A lot of these areas are pretty damn dark.
And I'm back where I started. So surely it's over here. Because the shortcut leads you over here. And down there is where you fight the Bloodstarved beast. But how do I get over there from over here? So this is where my knowledge of the game fails me. Because,
Yeah,
I know a lot of the broad stroke
just,
stuff about the game, but not the minutia.
I think we're suffering from a little bit of ladder blindness or something. There's bound to be a way to just walk to it.
Can I just open this big door? Nope. Maybe it's up here and I go out a window. There's a bright spot here.
Yeah, I don't think we want to go any further up.
Can I not go out on the rafters?
Oh, you can.
There's an item over there. And there's stuff above me. Can I go a layer above? And then like enter through a window. Well, the only thing here is the ladder up to Wahoo. Is this it?
I remember Eileen the Crow being around somewhere that looked like this.
Maybe the second place to talk to her might be here. I think after the Bloodstarved Beast is where you fight Henrik with her.
Oh, good.
It's funny how many of these games have humanity in them. That doesn't do anything.
I know, right?
Insight specifically is like anti-useful. What does it make you do? Well, you can only see certain things if you have insight. You take extra frenzy damage. I think
Extra monsters appear, and many of them become harder.
And you can fight. You can hear a baby laughing in certain areas.
Right.
Mostly it just makes you take more frenzy damage.
Yeah, bloody fucking brilliant.
So is there not anything up there that I... Well, it's gotta be down. It's gotta be.
Yeah, once we get to a particular spot, I want to stop and look around a bit.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. Wait, here. Stop. This little pagoda thing that you're in. Do any of these lead anywhere? No. Okay, I was hoping for a ladder. This should not be this hard. Looks like there's a way to go if we go up the ladder and then, like, get there somehow.
I'll just try smishing herself over there. See, here's where we fought the hunter.
Yeah, like he was a new boy.
That ladder
The
that
hanging Chad.
Maybe I went up here and declared it going back to the start of the area when it wasn't. Because I ran past all the men this time, so I thought they were riled.
Oh, what's this?
This smells like the start of the area. There's a corpse I've looted.
Hmm.
And then over here is where there's the explosive pots. And in fact, there's a man who died by exploding pots. But this is interesting. This just leads me back here. Into the hut. Thrilling gameplay.
I know.
But these games are largely about, like, being lost. You were talking about that earlier, about how they're kind of unadaptable. Because this is the game. There's no getting around it. This is Bloodborne.
Yeah. This is so infuriating. I really don't remember this being hard. Like, what the hell? There's just like a bridge down there, and we've been through the entire damn area and killed everybody.
Okay. Old Yarnum. I've seen this part of the game a lot, and I just don't remember where to go. Up to the rifle spear. You can now take the stairs on the right to return to the courtyard area. Oh, somebody died. There's a bloody messenger head bandage somewhere. Okay. Maybe this map will make sense of it. There's an alleyway here. We were, So here's the pagoda. We went over here
Oh
to this
man, you were
thing.
just running right past
And
this.
we were just running right
Oh
past
my
this
god.
alleyway.
All right. My instincts were on the money.
Yeah. It just
I knew like that was like the connect. Okay.
alley
I also knew
blindness.
it wasn't hard.
It wasn't hard. It was just I didn't see it.
That almost certainly happened to me in the like forest area with all the snakes.
With the snakes.
Like balls of snakes. Well, that guy just kind of gave up.
Yeah, he let me hit him and then he died. There's a doggy here somewhere. 2 doggies. Your doggy. Come fight Dookie.
Yeah, here's where I'd want to pebble him. That bullet seems to have...
Yeah, I do have limited bullets, so maybe I should, Yeah, do that. Hunter's Axe Gaming.
Cannot wait to build my own Hunter's Axe in Lies of P.
Have you been playing that, or?
I have not.
I've
been meaning to, but...
You were talking about Ender Magnolia, and how's that game then?
It's too good.
I know you didn't know about it until I streamed Ender Lilies and said that Ender Magnolia was out. But that was some time ago.
No, I basically immediately bought it and played it for... Okay, Steam. Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist. Played it for 12 hours.
Oh.
And I don't know, I got to a point in the game where it seemed to be entering this final escalation phase in a truly ridiculous number of tiers. Like, I thought I had dealt with these people once and for fucking all, but then it opens up and there's like 2 different train stations to take to like entirely separate areas, and each of those is huge and has a big dramatic boss fight at the end of it, and I'm like, okay, enough already. It's too big. It goes on for too long.
Who says gamers don't look up?
Pebbled asshole. Oh, come on. That was like right in his taint.
It's not letting me lock on, which is... And I think that hit the chain.
That's concerning.
Okay, I think, just fall down so I can hurt you. Thank you.
You're being punished for your clever observation.
Yeah, if I'd got the monocle, I could free aim with it. Ah, Beasthood, one of the least understood mechanics.
I certainly never understood it. It wasn't until, like, watching early speedruns that I'm like, oh, okay. I think it's pretty mean of the game to, like, the way that it builds up like it's a bad status. Like, every other meter like that appears in the entire game is, like, trying to warn you.
It's like Berserk, you know? Is Berserk a positive or negative status? Depends on who you're asking. Omniscient.
I mean, I guess. I just think its meter should look different, or it should work entirely differently from how it actually does. Which is probably more to the point, because that shit is weird.
Come here, Mr. Screamy. Alright. Come out here so I can Hunter's X Gaming you. He resisted it! He's the greatest foe I've ever seen! A lot of bloodstone shards. We're low
lucky.
on blood vials, though. And there's where Mr. Bloodstarved lives. You could summon Alfred.
Hmm.
We'll go up that other passage and then probably Hunter's Mark back. Come at the Bloodstarved beast with our full loadout. Upgrade our axe to the extent that we can. I guess I could go tell that lady about Florkrade, although I don't know why you would want to. Like, to what benefit?
You know, I'm not sure you actually could, because you didn't talk to Florkrade.
I could just go talk to Florkrade. He doesn't disappear. At least not to my knowledge.
I'm just saying that, like, I don't think...
Oh yeah, I don't know that tell them people to come to this here Eden Chapel. I didn't get that line, so I don't know about Eden Chapel. Yep, and then
So one of the rare moments where this whole scenario makes any kind of sense.
Which ladder is this? Is this the way back up? Yeah, this is where I was dying for my platforming. So yeah, that's where the platforming gets you when you do it correctly, is it gets you to the other side of that door. So you really skip everything. Up here, I think there was just the fire paper. Yeah. I think we've slurped everything. Take our stack of 15K. Henrik's tragically long life. Okay, I don't have any twin thingies.
Hey, look at all this. You could have, yeah.
I think all these... Oh, this one's slightly better.
Bunch of piddly bonuses.
I mean, it's... I'm not going to really use the bloodstone shards for anything else, so I may as well upgrade my hunter's pistol. Or maybe the
We're committed to the axe, or...
Huh?
Are we committed to the axe?
I think until... I think for some time. By the time I get Ligarius's wheel, I'll be swimming in other materials. I don't know what else I would use. Maybe it would be like... not the Kirk hammer, but the good version of the Kirk hammer. The sword.
Oh, like Logan's whatever?
Yeah, the sword that becomes a big sword. Kirk hammer just has weird scaling that kind of hamstrings it a little bit. I mean, we could use the stake driver. The repeating pistol would be the... But I would have to get blood tinge to use it. Repeating pistol is funny because it's not repeating. It's multi-fire. It does have a big wheel lock on it, though, which actually is funny because these are flint locks, which I believe is actually a younger technology than wheel locks. I guess being church weapons, they might be older.
Welcome home. What is it? Very let.
Alright. Yeah, here it tells me how many blood vials I have. I have 54 blood vials and 32 bullets. Wow. No place to awaken. Okay, let's go fight the Bloodstar Beast. Then that may be me calling it a stream.
Do you want to try tricking it out of existence?
That's a little hard, so I don't think I shall. I will be using blood cocktails against it, though, because really, what else do you use them for? I guess I'll incidentally try to get it to do the thing, but I'm not sanguine about the possibility.
Yeah, the fail case there is it just sort of leaves you alone for a while.
Yeah.
While you wail on it.
Which is what the plan is anyways. I have to go down there. And there's going to be a doggy in the way. Although, the ancient technique. The technique of our forefathers.
Classics of try dashing through.
Oh, I went the wrong way, but this guy was here, so it's fine.
I don't know why these things are suddenly giving up. That's so weird. Like you bonked him in the brain or something.
Okay, Smelly. If I recall correctly, this is actually really finicky.
Yeah, I think it involves, like, getting a visceral on him. Like, the visceral animation ends up pushing him out of bounds.
It's his super dash forward move, that one.
Well, we can just fight him the normal way.
Yeah.
Maybe break out a fire paper at some point.
Once you learn the tell for that attack, he's really not that bad.
That miss.
The target acquisition, notoriously difficult against Bloodstarred Beast. Up.
Ooh.
Am I dead?
Land grab. That'll do for him. Yeesh.
Yummy. Up, and then I got to see the bell spawn. I did it, Gehrman. I seeked a holy thingy. Yeah, you kind of spend the last part of that fight poisoned, just because in his third phase he's dripping poison.
Pretty mean.
I got a chalice.
Most of the holy chalices lie deep within the tomb of the gods, and the few that found their way to the surface were lost again in the hands of men. But if the old hunter tales remain true, one of the holy chalices is worshipped in the valley hamlet. Yet the town is in disarray. It was burned and abandoned for fear of the scourge. Home now only to beasts, the perfect place for for a hunter, wouldn't you say?
So he's like telling you to go to the woods and like the charnel lane. But I just got a chalice somewhere else. Surely it means something. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can't do offline or can't do online, so I can't do that. I can't go to the cum dungeon because I'm not paying for the online.
Welcome. What is it? Very well. Let me.
That pretty much kills Chalice Dungeon's usefulness.
Yeah, it kind of does.
What are they good for if you don't want to... If you can't do very specific crimes?
There are just treasures in the Chalice dungeons themselves, the vanilla ones. And they have unique bosses. Some of which are playable. Some of which are not. I got 7 insight. That is too many insights.
Give me my ignorance back.
I could buy Dura's stuff. Dura. I always want to call him Durja, but that is not where that J is. I really don't have anything that can...
That's weird.
Nothing good yet.
I might need some kind of badge that we'll just find.
The pro move is to buy gas coin stuff and then sell it. Ah, yes, I could be saving up to get the Hunter Chief emblem. The, how you say, thingy of, or Seal of Artorias. But, it's been 3 hours of Bloodborne. I think the experiment has mostly worked. This streaming setup is way more comfortable than streaming it from my TV.
Well, that's good.
And if...
What about the game itself?
It's Bloodborne. I'm enjoying it. I think I'll enjoy it even more when I get to areas that I know less. Look at that big old moon. You can kind of see the edge of the moon where it's dark. Like where it's getting like masked out. So it doesn't look right. Kind of doesn't look like a moon. It kind of looks like the Death Star. Yeah, looking a little aliased. Anyways, that's Bloodborne for now. I'll stream more of this game. And of course, we all have to thank the person who made all of this possible, which is Dookie. I don't know why there's a default icon that's just this. That's just whatever this shape is. What is this? I don't understand.
Looks like an ancient artifact of early civilization.
I mean, I think it looks like poop. And on that bombshell, we're going to call it a night. We're going to do more Baroque on Friday. Are you looking forward to that, Kaz? Are you looking forward to Baroque?
I am trying to remain excited.
Just think of all the meat in the game. Think of all the rotten meat that we could eat. That's idiot meat. And,
love a beat.
And bones. Imagine all the bones we could be gnawing on, Kaz.
There is the gnaw command.
I guess if you're vegan, that game's not very okay. Grotesques aren't animals, so it's fine.
So it's fine. They clearly respawn. I mean, they're not in
Yeah.
any danger.
I mean, then they're
They do scream, so they feel pain, so that's kind of messed up.
Oh yeah, but we like screaming, Kaz. We like
I like the
games that
screaming part.
we
It's-
like screaming. Okay. Good night, everybody.